When talking about Illinois, a few things might come to mind as just minor problems in the state, like our politicians, for instance. Not necessarily our current politicians, but as an Illinois citizen, I know the long history of bad and corrupt politicians who have led our state in the past couple of years. When I was deciding on a project I wanted to do for my service learning project, I was sparked with some initial ideas on things I could talk about and things that impact everyone's life in the state. I thought it was a good idea to go with the road conditions and just the normal day-to-day roads that everyone has to drive on because it impacts so much of the state. The National Research Group TRIB, in conjunction with the Illinois Chamber of Commerce, found that about one-third of the state's roads were in poor or mediocre condition, and about one-tenth of its bridges are structurally deficient. Illinois has 26,848 bridges in the state, and 8.8% of those bridges are classified as structurally deficient. This means that 2,362 of these bridges are actually structurally deficient in the state. This also brings Illinois to having the third most structurally deficient bridges in the US. And with the amount of bridges that it has, with all of its borders like the Mississippi River and other rivers like that, it puts a really bad rep on the state. So here I actually have provided a little kind of picture for you guys. So on this left side, you'll see the Chicago area. This has a lot of orange. The orange is representative of ongoing construction, ongoing roads that have construction on them. And on the right side, you don't see hardly like any orange. And you'd have to think that there has to be more roads in this big portion of Illinois than there is in just the Chicago area. In 2016, there was an amendment passed overwhelmingly. It was called the Safe Roads Amendment. This worked as a sort of lockbox for the government. This basically makes it to where there always is money for transportation. And as you can see, it looks like they're using a lot of the money to aid the Chicago area. And I mean, that's great and all, but if you live in anywhere in that's not in the northeastern part of Illinois, it makes it really hard, and it makes it kind of annoying when your tax dollars aren't going where you want them to. Now we may be thinking, what can we do to solve this problem? And honestly, it's pretty simple. We just need to start working on more bridges, dispersing this construction from just the Chicago area to all across the state. There's a lot of roads that I know need fixed up, a lot of state highways that are in bad condition, and according to that graph, there's actually a lot of highways and bridges that are in very bad condition, and the state of Illinois needs to start funding these projects, just make the living conditions in Illinois much better. A lot of people are unhappy with how Illinois is ran, and this can be seen by the population numbers and how it just continues to decrease year after year. I think it could really benefit the just well-being of the public if even the small things like road conditions were fixed. The bigger things are things that can kind of be tweaked out and worked on a little bit easier, but just like the small things, like the things that people have to drive on every day, would definitely help the living conditions in Illinois, and I think that it would really just improve the overall state as a whole. Anyway, this has been my public service announcement and my service learning project. Thank you for listening. See ya.
Hey guys, welcome back to Monster Jim Fox.